Ashley Hobbs, a beautiful princess, is born December 29th, 2001. This Idahoan venerated princess is a member of royalty because her grandfather works as the mayor of Chubbuck, Idaho. She led her noble life in Twin Falls, Idaho, as a part of the great country of the United States of America. She lived richly and had many friends. Her marvelous life went well, but demons were constantly out to get her. She roamed the halls of her school, hearing those demons shout out for her to die. People proclaimed that she should either take her own life or that someone would take hers. Ashley hated this house of imps and demonic beasts. The only defense that she had was her rapier sword of hope. One fated day, the princess's parents came to tell her that they must be moving to a land far away. This bittersweet event confused Ashley. She could barely count the number of good aspects in her life in the great city of Twin Falls. Why would her parents want to move? Ashley had acquired so many great friends over the years. Ashley's parents stated that they must move so that they could take care of Ashley's grandparents, because their lives might come to a close within the next few years. Over the following weeks, Ashley puzzled over a way to tell her close friends that she needed to take a fated journey, never to return. She could think of a couple ways that she could tell them. She could use a hit-and-run tactic. She would tell them the news, then flee to a place where they could not find her. She could also try articulating it with a joke. "Knock, knock," she might say. "Who's there?" her friends might ask. "I'm moving," she proclaimed. "I'm moving who?" her squad retorted. As a punchline, she would simply not answer to show that she, hypothetically, had already moved and could not answer. This might work, but no one would take her seriously. Ashley decided to take a little of both. She would give them the news like in the hit-and-run tactic, and then stick around like in the joke. This approach went flawlessly, and her group of friends understood and took the news to heart. Months later, the ill-fated day came. The extra things that they owned sold quickly. Her possessions resided in boxes in her front yard. She traversed through her childhood home. Over on that step, she had thrown up a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Down in the kitchen, she had made the best macaroni and cheese of her life. She did not know whether she spent hours or minutes trekking through the house and reminiscing. Her parents told her that they needed to leave soon, and she obeyed. She left her childhood home where so many memories resided. She felt like crying as they left the only town that she could remember. She left a whole life behind as her family left the city limits. She thought about what this new place might bring. A new life, a new start. It could prove to be a beautiful place of beginning, or it could exist as the ninth circle of hell. Pocatello is what this place is named. It sounded like a word from another language, and it probably was a foreign word. As she arrived in this new town, she tried to think of things that could go well for her. Ashley bit her nails, feeling anxious and afraid. Fast forwarding, the first day of school in a new school year, and the first day of her new school prepared to start. She readied and steeled herself in body and soul for this trip. She wandered around the school for a while, trying to find her first class. She made it there soon and went to sit down. The bell rang and class started. Abruptly, everything seemed very far away. The teacher's voice became quiet. Ashley zoned out, and nothing resembled reality anymore. The realization hit her. This place, a new school, a new town. She might never see her old friends again. She felt tears at her eyes. Her vision went watery. She felt her throat strain as she desperately tried not to make a sound, even though she wanted to cry so badly. She could not cry in class. Ashley's body thought otherwise. She felt hot tears run over her cheekbones. She was crying, and she couldn't stop. Ashley's teacher asked if she felt okay, and Ashley excused herself. She withdrew from the classroom and speed-walked to the bathroom. She leaned over the sink and cried until her eyes got scratchy and red. She stayed hunched over the sink for a few minutes after crying in an emotionless, thoughtless state. Ashley's mind idled. She stopped crying long ago, but the sadness and dread still sat in her stomach like a rock. Ashley splashed some water into her face and then exited the bathroom. She drank water from the water fountain nearby and made the long slog back to her classroom. She almost doubted if her heart would ever know happiness again. As time went on, Ashley did feel happiness again. She made new and wonderful friends. She grew close to those friends and continued to make more. She kept in touch with her old friends and stayed close to them. She saw more highlights in her new home. She got to see her grandfather and grandmother more. She loved them and they loved her. She learned to look at life as a new adventure. Almost everything returned back to normal. She learned to appreciate this new town schooling. Her new school's education system proved to be amazing compared to her old school's education system. Ashley stopped getting death threats, and she lived a happy social life. Ashley learned from this experience that all she needed was to acquire a happy outlook on life. She needed to act like her blood type, be positive. She learned that everything does get easier. Ashley now knows that things can be overwhelming and that life is never as hard as you assume it is.